here, 2v2 Desert Showdown. Chaos versus Imperial Guard. We have two Chaos Lords on the blue team. Dr. Evil and Gruchaa. There he is. These are big stompy melee commanders that cannot be suppressed and bash through cover. Pretty much just want to kill everything ever. Red team, we have two Commissar Lords, Vinyl and Fankater. Not very easy to tell them apart. These are melee commanders who support and offense. Chaos Space Marines on the field for both Chaos players. Heavy ranged infantry that are pretty decent in melee. Commissar Lord overextending a bit here for Vinyl. Chaos Space Marines will do a lot of damage to him in melee and they turn to engage. Going to be forced off here. Triple Guardsmen on the field for Vinyl, holding up those Chaos forces so his Guardsmen can take center, and they do so. 483 please, 500. Fankater went for Guardsmen and a tier 1 vehicle called a Sentinel. More CSM on the way for Gruchaa. Chaos Lord now goes for the western victory point, which is natural for red. East is natural for blue. When I play against Imperial Guard, I'll always get a setup team as soon as possible. Looks like these guys are going for double CSM instead. Chaos have a pretty good going versus Imperial Guard generally, thanks to these heretics in tier 1, which are very bad news for Guardsmen in both their melee and grenade launcher forms. Chaos Space Marine is taking center. Chaos Lord took the west, but the Commissar Lord took the east. Puts up his shield, and he didn't finish the cap there. Huge mistake from Fankater. Commissar Lord in melee with these Chaos Space Marines. We do see a power sword from Vinyl. I was just about to say a power weapon would be nice against these heavily armored Chaos Space Marines. Power sword from both Commissar Lords in fact. I expect plasma guns in tier 2 also if these Guardsmen survive tier 2. Chaos Lord taking a lot of damage. Dr. Evil forced off. Commissar Lord also forced off thanks to melee heretics in their default state. No champion, who of course got a cost increase in 3.18. Used their Doom Blast to suppress these Guardsmen, but then they are forced off down to 4 members. Luckily they are relatively cheap to reinforce. Flamer Guardsmen working on this power farm. Dr. Evil comes to defend with Chaos Space Marines, will force melee on these Guardsmen so they can no longer fire their flamers, and these guys force melee on retreats. Luckily they got their sergeant while they were retreating. Sentinel stomps, heretics forcing them off, but they still have quadruple CSM to deal with. If they all focus down this Sentinel, it won't last long. Trying to get on model loss on these CSM, I think. Very close to losing a model. Two Guardsmen trying to fix the Sentinel, but I think it's dead. They just need to focus it down. And there it goes. Chaos Lord in melee with Guardsmen, forcing them to run back. Power Sword being very annoying for those Chaos Space Marines to deal with. These heretics have their aspiring champion who is a Chaos Marine. Really adds to their melee effectiveness in tier 1. And their survivability of course. We have a heavy weapon squad on the field for Fankater. Setup team that's suppressed by default. No setup teams for the blue team yet. Instead going for Eternal War on both of his CSM Dr. Evil. As for Gruchaa, no Eternal War that I can see here. Ouch, loses a model to heavy weapon squad close up. Suppression teams of course doing more damage the closer you get to them. And that also applies to the Chaos Lord even though he cannot be suppressed. Commissar Lord using lead by example, getting into melee range of these heretics. Looks like they're going for the building here. Guards taking west. East is uncapped. Power Sword doing a pretty good job so far, scaring off Chaos Space Marines. Havoc's on the field for Dr. Evil, setup team that suppresses. Setting up to defend this power, but they're too far away here. You see the firing arc, and they are setting up a bit closer. Here comes the Chaos Lord 2. No combi flamers from the Chaos Lord, which I also think would be incredibly useful. Maybe they are thinking about Ogryns and the such in tier 2 and want to wait for Blood Mauls and Lightning Claws. So they could always change up, of course. Tier 2 for Gruchaa, Vinyl and fankater already well on their way. Blue edging it in map control, I think. Khorne worship allows these CSM to kite away. There is grenade barrage a bit late, mostly dodged by the guardsman. Commissar Lord is idle. We're gonna go down. Mistake by fankater. Lapse of concentration. Node goes down to the Chaos Lord. He should try and de-gap it. Too late. It's now being rebuilt. Here comes the Commissar Lord of Vinyl. Lead by example, knocking stuff down left and right. Guardsmen supporting him with their las guns. Two Chaos Lords here. Vinyl has his hands full. If these triple guardsmen can stay alive, level up a bit and all get plasma guns, well, this squad has flamers so they can't get plasma guns. If the other two squads can get plasma guns, then these CSM might be in trouble tier 2. We have Chimeras on the field for both Imperial Guard players, reinforcement points and transports. And blue team have no way to deal with them. Gruchaa is level 2. Dr. Evil is almost there. Ouch, tons of guardsmen dying there too. The Chaos Lord is trying to chase down this sergeant, but he gets away. Gruchaa has Armor of the Inferno, let the galaxy burn. You can see where it landed here. Heavy Weapon Squad have a las cannon. Maybe they were expecting a Blood Crusher or two, but that's not the case. Might see Plague Marines or Bloodletters to deal with those Chimeras. We do have plasma guns on the guardsmen. Do we have Mark of Tzeentch? We do, on the Chaos Havocs, which is why that Chimera lost so much hit points there. Unable to get line of sight to finish it off and is forced to retreat. Commissar Lord of Vinyl, fankater. Vinyl's fully kitted out here, Flak Jacket and Stubbornness. Fankater is standing still again. That was a flare from the Commissar Lord. Global ability he has, which reduces the range of enemy units. Ouch, let the galaxy burn, doing crazy damage to those guardsmen. Fankater again standing around and is shot down. Here comes Vinyl to try and revive with his Stubbornness. Don't think it's gonna let him. Retreats just in time to get away. We have Mark of Tzeentch on the way for these Chaos Space Marines. Ogryns on the way for both Imperial Guard players. Plague Marines already on the field for Gruchaa. A lot nippier now in 3.18. Used to be painfully slow. That buff in response to the speed buffs that tanks got a couple of patches ago. You see the Armor of the Inferno gives the Chaos Lord a grenade icon, so you can instantly tell that he has it without clicking on him. There we see let the galaxy burn. Ouch. Even if they retreat and knock down, Steel really hurts them. Las Cannon getting off shots on the Chaos Lord. He's now in melee with it though. And the Chimera is finished off by the Plague Marines. Ogrins are on the field now though. Chaos Space Marines finished off. Gruchaa losing a CSM squad thanks to the Commissar Lord, who's level 2 now. Here are the Ogrins, powerful tier 2 infantry for Imperial Guard. Are gonna be a headache. Plague Marines on the way for Dr. Evil now. Tier 3 for Gruchaa. I don't think that was the best idea. Has Ogrins to deal with. Ogrins of fankater are bashing generators. They have their boned leader, taking them up to 4 members. 2 guardsmen capping the same point. This squad moving off. Don't have their commissars yet. Dr. Evil has his Plague Marines on the field. Deadly Galaxy Burn forcing these guardsmen to just retreat straight off. Ogrins of Vinyl don't have their leader yet, they're getting him though. Ogrins should turn and engage those CSM, instead they go after these Chaos Havocs and get a model loss. Ouch, now go after these Zinch CSM and force those guys off. Ogrins are rampaging around. Fankaters were forced to retreat though. The CSM are not capping, now they are. Triple cap for red momentarily here. 308 plays 348. Gruchaa is now tier 3 but has no resources to really buy anything. Commissar Lord managed to decap that power point, completely wiped out.
Your forces obey you.
Commissar Lord, very aggressive use hit by fankater. Forced off though in the end. Chaos Space Marines will try to cap east for a 2-1. Chaos Lord has Lightning Claws, Armored Inferno and Icon of Khorne, which is a favoured setup for the Chaos Lord. Destructive Strike dodged by the Ogrins and they now have him in retreat. Might be able to take him out here. A couple more hits. Can their Ripper Guns finish him off? It can. Chaos Lord goes down as a fully kitted out Chaos Lord at level 3. Big loss for Gruchaa. Plague Marines exploding on death, damaging enemies and healing allies. Full retreat here for Chaos. Ouch, lots of explosions. Stormtroopers on the field for fankater. Assault kit, which they of course need to pay for now. Chaos Lord of Dr. Evil only has Armored Inferno and is retreating out there. Heavy Weapon Squad capping east. Might be a triple for red again. Tier 3 for Vinyl. Gruchaa has been there for a while, hasn't been able to get anything out. Guardsmen, Stormtroopers and Ogrins, too much for these CSM to deal with. Plague Marines, as tough as they are, also forced to retreat. And now this power's being hit, looking very, very grim for blue team. Both Imperial Guard players now heading tier 3. Double Zinch CSM for Dr. Evil. Doing decent damage to this Chimera here. 262 plays 296. Here come Ogrins again. These are Vinyls. And Fankaters are pincer attacking the CSM. Ogren's knocking back their own guardsmen there. Use your red ability, allows them to disrupt. Forcing off those CSM. I don't think... Yes, they did lose 2 models on one of these squads. 245 plays 296, 2-1 cap for the Imperial Guard. Gruchaa now floating tons of resources. Is he waiting for a Great Unclean One? That'll be fun. 2-1 cap for red. He needs some power, or that's going to be a long wait. Commissar Lords forcing off CSM. I think double CSM is not the best way to go versus Imperial Guard, just because of Ogren's, which will handle 2 CSM. I think even if they had a mark of Khorne, Ogren's would really put the hurt on them. Lehman Russ on the way for Vinyl. Stormtroopers still level 1 for fankater. Lose a model there. There's Let the Galaxy Burn. Ouch, devastating. Here comes the other Chaos Lord, but we'll see another one. Ogren's losing models like crazy, need to get out of there. Chaos Lord did the special attack, unfortunate for him. Could have taken out another model there. Guardsmen blasting away with those plasma guns. Commissar Lord is surely dead. No, gets into range and stubbornness kicks in, saving him. Plague Marines should be tying up these guardsmen, but they're not. Lehman Russ hits the field for Vinyl. Gruchaa is getting closer to a Great Unclean One. Might be too late by then though. It's a double cap, 142.96. These heretics are not capping the east side. Fankater died over there. 3rd time I've seen him go down. Chaos Lord forced off by heretics. Ouch. Guardsmen dying in droves thanks to Let the Galaxy Burn. Just get away. Fully upgraded with their Commissars now. Power Fist on this Commissar Lord, Vinyl. Might finish off this CSM and does. Big blow. Gruchaa losing both CSM squads. Great Unclean One on the way. Might be too little too late though. It is very good. Super units do very good on this map though, because these 2 victory points are so close together. Super units tend to be slow. Not the case with the Battle Wagon and the Swarm Lord, but it allows you to use a super unit to defend both these VPs. 81.296. Full retreat here by these Chaos forces. Chased by Ogren's. See how fast Ogren's are. Now in melee with Plague Marines, causing them to explode. Still a 2-1. Looks like Reds are going to camp these 2 VPs and just ignore the east side, which has a shrine on it. Chaos Lord lost seconds, not sure what he was trying to do. Great Unclean One is on the field, making its way over slowly. Come on, Fatty. Both Chaos Lords down. Fist of Brockus. That was none shall fall. Here is the Great Unclean One though. Super unit for Claire's fights melee, hugely tough. Lots of nasty abilities too. But surely this is too much for him to stand against. Does have some support here. There's his vomits. And there's his cloud of flies, I think it's called. But he's lost half of his HP already. There's another flare. Ogren's chasing the Great Unclean One. Now he turns to engage. There's Foul Snare stunning and pulling a unit towards him. And Ogren's are forced to retreat. Still a lot of stuff to deal with though, including another Ogren squad on the way in. This one, Vinyl, level 3 now. And surely this is over for Blue. 2-1, 12 VPs remaining. Vinyl says GG. Bloodletters on the field for Gruchaa. It's just desperation, teleporting in behind the Lehman Russ. Got a million things to now shoot him. And they're forced to retreat. And there's the game for Red Team. I think Chaos made bad choices in Tier 1. No Combi Flamer, no Havocs quickly enough. And Ogren's, again, very difficult to deal with in Tier 2. Gruchaa went Tier 3 a bit prematurely. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.